What's going on? One person. Let's see. Hopefully people can hear me. Can you all hear me? Yep, we got volume. Okay. All right, 3 people. How's one person? Two. Nothing. 5 people. All right. What's up, guys? How are you? Anyone want to chat? Chat? Can you all hear me? I got some pretty amazing experiences right here to share with you guys. Can anyone hear me? Can you guys hit the say hi in the chat, please? I got a couple of some Dogman. What's up, D? How are you? Can you hear me all right? That's Sasquatch. Very interesting Vermont cryptid encounter. Some other things going on here. All right, cool. Thank you for responding. I appreciate that. So I guess we'll start with, hey, Judy, how are you? This is just a kind of a bonus live stream that I wanted to do for y'all. I didn't actually expect anyone to even pop on. Juno, what's going on? How are you? John, what's up? How are you tonight? Awesome. I'm glad we're getting some people in here. All right, I think we'll start the night with a Vermont. Hey, Kevin, what's going on? All right. So we'll start with a Vermont encounter. Yeah. What's up, Jimmy? Just something different, you know. What's up, Kiwi? RC, what's going on? Thank you guys for joining me on this live stream. My cat just gave birth. Wow, that's crazy. Chances are yes, Jim. I don't recall seeing it, but I'll check later tonight. Actually, no, I don't think I did get your email, to be honest with you, because I would remember, to be honest, Jimmy. Nice, Machine Head. Nice. All right, so this just came out of Vermont. So, and it's right near my location. So I figured, hey, why not share it here? Okay, so I'll try and make this relatively short. So I'm not one for believing too much of cryptid lore. Never had an encounter before or anything like that, but my partner and I live on the border of upstate New York, not far from the Whitehall Bigfoot area. One night, my partner was taking out the garbage and came back inside startled. I mean, really shook up. They said they had seen a creature that looked maybe like a fox or a coyote, but that it had been standing on its hind legs, so they booked it back inside. Fast forward about a month, and I'm outside on my porch smoking a cigarette, enjoying the stars under a crystal clear sky. And we have a small plot next to the house that has a tow behind landscaping trailer permanently parked on it, about 20 feet away from the house. After a while of standing outside, I get this sudden and intense feeling like someone is watching me. Just that primal feeling of danger. It should be noted, like most people up here, I'm usually carrying a gun. Coyote, bear are fairly common up here, so I kind of do the four-corner check of my surroundings. When I looked over to the trailer, I saw there was something the size of a large dog lying in the grass. Mind you, it's a clear night, and it's not quite a full moon. The grass was uncut long, but not like a meadow. If I'd have to estimate, I'd say 7 to 9 inches high. So I had a really good view of this thing. Now I know never to approach a random animal bedded down at night, so I just kind of watch it for a second. Even in the light of the moon, its outline and coat are pitch black, blacker than anything I'd seen before, unnaturally contrasting against the ground it had laid on. Then it looks up. It had piercing red eyes, and I think, WTF. I put my hand on my revolver. I ain't gonna be coyote food. I ain't about to be coyote food. And then it stood up. It stood on its hind legs. The only way I can describe the legs of it is like a goat/human hybrid from the Narnia movie, but with a torso like a hybrid of a man and canine. It was taller than me, and I'm 6'1". It didn't even need to take a step. I flicked whatever I had left of my cigarette and backed away to the door, locked and bolted it, and spent the rest of the night wondering what I had just seen. Now, I will admit, I am a religious man, but that thing did not fit a description of any jinn I had ever heard of. It's to this day one of the few things in my life I cannot explain. We've installed security cameras since, but now the lot is under construction and we haven't seen it since. I don't know what it was that night, truly, but I intend to find out one way or another. I want to go into the forest near the plot and look for signs. All right, let's see. RC, I said John. How are you, John? Josh, how are you? Desert Fairy Chick, what's going on? How are you, Radio Shack? Ron, Dang, how are you? Renee and Moose Knuckle Johnson. What a wonderful name that is. Good old Moose Knuckle. Shit. Awesome, Radio Shack. Awesome. Eunice, how are you? Joshua? Damn, and it's got the little like, little punctuation over the E and the K with that special kind of C. All right, thanks, Jimmy. I appreciate that, brother. I really do. That was pretty crazy, Vermont. Where that encounter took place, is probably 20 to 25 minutes northeast of my house. What's up, Lucifer Jesus? How are you? Caden, what's going on? Not much, Vang. Just wanted to do something a little different for tonight and, have a little fun with you guys. I don't feel that much better, to be honest. I'm literally got a fever. They changed my medicine, so things are not going to be. Well, thank you, Ron S. I appreciate that, and welcome to the channel, my friend. It was about an experience I had last year. Okay, I'll look for it. What's up, Jordy? How are you? All is good in New Zealand. That's awesome. That is awesome. I'd love to go to New Zealand sometime. NK, how are you? Man, so anyway, that encounter is like 25 minutes northeast of my house. Perfect description of a Dogman. And thanks, Luis. I appreciate that. And that just gives credence to Dogman being in upstate New York. There's been multiple encounters. So there is no hot spot in my eyes. I don't really think there is a hot spot. I think that they're migratory, not migratory. They're nomadic, and they pretty much just go where they want to go. I mean, think about it. You're in 7 to 8 foot tall walking killing factory. Is anything really going to stop you from going where you want? It could have been, Caden. Could have been. But I've heard of Dogmen having a strange 3-toed kind of footprint as well. Julie, you are not late at all. This actually was, I did not even intend on doing a live. I just kind of put it out quick. But it's good to have you here, Julie James. What's up, RJ? How are you? But I'm not debating that with you about it could be a reptilian, but I've heard of, a Dogman having a weird kind of 3-toed with like this kind of pronged back to it. I have a couple of New Zealand encounters. QE, if you want Saturday at midnight with the normal live stream, I'll pull a couple of New Zealand ones out. I got a couple of encounters that I just want to do quick here for you guys tonight. Just have some fun with. Okay. All right. I'm originally from northwestern Ontario and have been in and out of the forest my entire life. I grew up hunting, fishing, camping, and I've gone on many remote backcountry canoe trips. I've also worked in the forest, a few different jobs. I've always felt very comfortable in the forest and have never had a bad experience. That was until working in the forest near New Linksard, Ontario. I was working as an ecologist in the district of North Bay, Ontario. As an ecologist, I had many different jobs that brought me to every end of the district. One of those jobs involved conducting inventory on old logging cut blocks. This is something that I've done multiple times over multiple summers in different areas on the province. This particular block was located west of New Linksford, about 45-minute drive out of town. The area was very rural with farm fields and the odd farmhouse scattered throughout. While driving the roads, it was common for other vehicles to stop and stare at you. This might have been because we were driving in a marked truck, or that we were only people that the locals didn't recognize. The block we were looking for hadn't been cut since 1995 and was located down this old, rarely used logging road. The two of us were tasked with collecting data on the block. To get to the block, we had to turn off onto an overgrown road that barely fit the truck. The road had many mud pits and nearly sunk our truck multiple occasions. When we couldn't drive any further, we had to walk the rest of the way to the block, which took another half hour. The work started, and the same as any other day. While we worked, we talked about office drama, funny experiences we've had, and what good movies we had watched recently. As we got further into the block, I started to feel my chest getting tighter. As we continued, I started feeling like we were being watched through the trees. These feelings got stronger, and further we traveled into the logging block. I tried to shrug them off until my coworker suddenly recited the data we were collecting, looked at me, and said, "I have a terrible feeling about this place." We then discovered that we were both having the feeling like we were being watched and that something wasn't right about this area in the forest. We continued our work with the unsettling feelings persisting. As we continued further into the cut block, keeping our conversation, we suddenly stopped dead in our tracks, dropping the last word that was uttered. We both heard what sounded like two people having a conversation. This we couldn't comprehend because we were in a remote area deep down this almost undrivable trail, and we had not seen a sign of people. Then another hour walk into the bush to get to our location. Into the cut block, the forest was far too thick to be any use of recreation, and it was not hunting season. What was also troubling was we couldn't make out what was being said. The voices would continue for a few seconds, then disappear as quickly as they started. Once they stopped, we would continue our work, but be stopped in our tracks as the incomprehensible voices would pick back up minutes later. This pattern continued until we came across the trees that had been bent over and snapped. Now it's not uncommon to find trees bent or snapped from bear, moose, or even the weather, but what was odd about these trees was their proximity to the others. We would find a tight cluster of trees in the middle tree snapped and the others untouched. The trees were also free of any rub marks or scarring. Then we came across a patch of young poplar trees that was completely surrounded by an almost perfect circle of dense spruce and pine. Within that patch, almost all of the poplar trees had been snapped and bent down in different locations, but the surrounding evergreens were untouched. Neither of us had ever seen anything like this before. And with the feeling that something was watching us, we quickly got out of that area. As we moved back out of the block, the voices stopped, and the feeling of dread or being watched drift away. We both expressed that it felt normal again when we were only a half an hour walk from where we had just experienced those voices. I've shown different foresters photos looking for an explanation, but never received a clear answer. The best I've received was maybe the soil composition is different in that location, but all expressed how they have never seen trees broke like that. I've asked First Nation individuals from different communities and have been told by multiple people that what I experienced was a bad omen and should not be talked about. Now that I share this, I am starting to have second thoughts about whether it was a good idea or not. What made me decide to share this was a weird experience in the forest. Two women had disappeared in the New Lynxburg area. Julie Diane Fortier lived in Elk Lake, Ontario, upriver from the cut block where I worked, and went missing in the 80s after taking the bus to school. 5 years to the day she disappeared. Her school bag, running shoes, and coat were found near the Haileybury, Ontario landfill. The landfill is located roughly 6 kilometers away from where she was supposed to be attending school and roughly 50 kilometers from Elk Lake. Another 5 years passed before her remains were found by a couple along a dirt road outside of Haileybury. Many speculate on what happened to her, but the mystery was never solved. Malene Ether went missing in New Lynxburg in 1996 when she was 1 kilometer walk home from her friend's house. She was observed walking by multiple people on this kilometer walk from home and seen crossing the Armstrong Street Bridge near her house. The last stretch of her journey involved a poorly lit back road, and she disappeared without a trace. To this day, Melanie's whereabouts are unknown. What's up, what it is? How are you? Adam Hernandez, Fox Media, how are you? No, I don't think Jane even knew. This was just a surprise that I wanted to kind of do. Hey, what's up, Jeff? How are you? Gravity. Yeah, I was just sitting here. I had tomorrow's upload all set, and I was like, I got a little bit of time to kill. What's up, Brian? How are you from Columbus, Ohio? And so I figured, hey, let's do a little quick live stream for you guys. And hey, Missouri, how are you? So my oldest daughter got her permit today. That was pretty interesting, a milestone in her life. Pretty happy for it. Hey, Joe, how are you? No, I haven't heard about that, Adam. Yeah, thanks, John W. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm proud of her. I told her, I was like, hey, it's a milestone in your life. She didn't want to do it when she was 16, because she's kind of afraid to drive, and she decided to just ask the other day. She's like, can we go and do it? And I was like, yeah, study real quick, take a few practice tests, and let's get you driving, kiddo. And yeah, she's proud of her little shit. I can't believe she's 18 already, man. It's life just flies by. My dad is doing better than I am, Brian, to be honest with you. My dad's doing much better than I am. I went and saw my specialist down in Albany today. Spent 3 hours there. It was a 1 hour drive there and 1 hour drive back. That sucked. They switched my medication. We're trying to figure out what to do. I don't know. I get cold sweats now. I'm like sweating my ass off in my room, and it's not even hot in my house right now. So yeah, thank you, Melody. Yeah, Joe, it's crazy how fast they grow up. My little buddy is my little baby's gonna be 16 in November. Holy shit, I can't believe that. What did they say? They switched my medication, and we've got to they did some more lab work. We just got to figure everything out. It's gonna be a long road. You usually don't, once you put it in remission and it hits back, you don't really come back from it, which I did. PNH is not, it's not like I don't know, it's a very rare blood disorder. It affects your bone marrow. It affects a lot. A long time ago, the death rate was pretty high. They say like 10 to 20 years once diagnosed, but I've been diagnosed with it for over 11 now. PNH, Brian, PNH. So I got this interesting, I got a couple. Oh, I got a mermaid one. Check this out. I got a mermaid encounter that I stumbled across the other day, and thinking of you guys. I got a whole big pile of encounters. So I don't know if you guys heard me say the other day that I was going to make a major announcement with the channel. I'll make it right now, and then I'll make it in a different video. But for you guys that are here with me, I decided that I want to bring the channel up more and more, and they mentioned my show. People, wow, no kidding, on TV, Josh, or on YouTube. Okay, so I'm I'm going to invest in like a green screen downstairs. And, I have, even though I do this and I do research, I have people that I look up to, like YouTubers that I think are amazing. And one of my favorite YouTubers is probably one of your guys' favorite YouTubers, John Allen or Mr. Ballin. And I had sent him a message, and I'm gonna invest in the green screen, and I'm gonna kind of just start kind of doing something better. Um, I just want to hit 100,000 subscribers. With this health issue and this health scare hitting me. I never really even thought I'd hit 1,000, but now that I'm halfway there almost, why not? I just want to I want to just get that 100,000 plaque and put it behind me, and then get my YouTube tattoo. What do you think about the lady seeing the shapeshifter inside the plane? Junior, I don't know about that. I know my buddy, Kyle, Night God. He's my buddy Kyle, though. He thinks it's legit. I think it's pretty interesting. I think he thinks it's legit because I think he thinks the lady's hot. But she was seen drinking. But I believe they were landing at the Denver airport, if I'm not mistaken. So maybe it was a shapeshifter. I don't know if it was like the atypical shapeshifter that we're used to dealing with, but I'm thinking that it was like a reptilian. Yeah, John Allen definitely was a Navy SEAL. Really cool guy. Really, a really nice guy too. He's not a pretentious bone in his body. The couple of times that I've spoken with him, just a really good dude. Yeah, it's pretty weird, but there's a lot of things, Cora. There's a lot of things that go, she was seen drinking, but she didn't really look like my friend Kyle, Night God, said. She really didn't look impaired. But you don't have to look impaired to be shittered, But like I said, they were landing in Denver Airport, or they were at Denver Airport. So she might have seen a reptilian, I wouldn't put it past. So yeah, I mean, I didn't see it, but pretty convincing. I don't know. I'm just glad I didn't see the goddamn thing. Yeah. No, we shouldn't doubt her. Absolutely. But you have to look at things too. Like with paranormal investigation and research, you should look at things and debunk them. See if you can debunk them first before going balls deep and saying, this is real. You know what I mean? Thanks, Gravity. I appreciate that. But, she was convincing, and she was freaked out. And, what's convincing to me about this is, and probably not many people thought about this, was she fucking wigged out. And that's like jail time. You know what I mean? She like put her freedom on the line to get the hell off of that plane. So maybe she did see it, I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest. These glasses are making my face sweat. These give a glare. Fuck. I gotta wear the sweaty glasses. What's up, Elsa Blue? How are you? Elisa, or is it Elsa? Elisa? I don't know. I'm just going to call you Blue. Give you credit, Jeff. I have called you on multiple times, but never blocked. Vince, who's James Freeman? I don't know who James Freeman is. What's up, Kevin? How are you? No, James, that's not Dark Waters, his last name. I have a DVD of a pastor who uses to be a Satan worshiper and says there are real werewolves. Well, okay, Vince, all right. Elsa. Okay, Elsa. All right. No, James, his last name is not Freeman. Florinda. Anyway, what was I gonna say? My fucking mind just went. It was just like a fart in the wind. My freaking thought that I had here. Anton LaVey. Okay, so Anton LaVey, who, as you know, is the founder of the Satanic Church, he wrote a book called How to Become a Werewolf. And you cannot find this book anywhere. There's a house in Poughkeepsie, New York, which is like 2.5 hours south of me, called the Halloween House or the Black House. And it was set on fire a while ago, but there's still kind of an affiliation there. And I'm literally reaching out to these people because I want a copy of the book, just because, like, it's how do you become, like Anton LaVey writing a book about becoming a werewolf is mind-blowing to me, and I just want to read it. Can you tell me what the orangish red eyes, Dogman, or werewolf? What has I to be honest with you, I've heard of Dogman, werewolves, and Bigfoot having that color eyes. I've had a subscriber in Tennessee, tell me he had seen a Dogman with like a violet colored eyes. Yeah, I'm interested in Atlantis. I don't really think too much about it because I am very interested. I'd like to figure out where it is. I believe there's a guy, I forget who his name is, but he thinks that Atlantis was in like Africa or something. I'd like to know where it was and what happened to it, but cryptids to me are just, I have too much invested in cryptids. Caden, I did 2 Russian Dogman encounters yesterday, or this morning, actually. Sweet. Can I listen to my second shit? What's going on, IE Native? How are you? Thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. Hey, Renee, how are you? Lake Superior. Yeah, I don't know why anybody. It was just a random thing. I never even had the inkling to do live tonight. I just did it real quick. See what I could do. See if anyone would come on. My local Lake George Bigfoot Cup. Gotta support the local native Bigfoot. Hey, Aaron, how are you? Rockin' steady. What's going on? So, have you guys seen the? There's a lot of pictures on Facebook of these like national parks, and they're putting up beware of Bigfoot signs and stuff like that. Yeah, they are. But that's not a new thing. And they've been doing that for a couple of years now. And I think that would be a soft disclosure. Hey, Dakota, how are you? Do you think the Dogman can foul a certain person? Absolutely. Absolutely. Peiko, how are you doing? Heard a story recently, Bigfoot speaking, not sure if it was creepypasta. Daniel, anything's possible, to be honest. I am begging for anyone to listen to me. Atlantis is the great meteor construct. Okay. Definitely maybe. I mean, is there proof to that? Yeah. Kiwi knows what I'm talking about. That kid, he's young. He was on Joe Rogan. And there's like these blue eyes or whatever that are in the in Africa. What's up, TY Dow 72? I think one followed me in Alaska. I wouldn't doubt that, Dakota. I have a friend that is from Alaska. Actually, he builds racing 3-wheelers, and he had something follow him in the woods. Yeah, I did, Joe. What do you think? I actually, I talked about the Julian Sand experience like 2 weeks ago when they found his remains. And I shared a bunch of information, Kevin. So I think something's definitely up with that. What the cheese? What's up, Andy? How are you? All right, so this is the mermaid encounter that I stumbled across the other day. I was with 2 of my friends this night when it happened. I was driving them home because I was the only one who didn't drink at a party we attended earlier in the evening. When we were on the road, when my friend Alex felt sick, so we decided to park the car for a few minutes on the side of the road and wait for him to get better. I remember it was a clear night because of full moon high in the sky. The landscape was beautiful. The beach was close to the road, and I could perfectly see it. To the dark gray sand, the bright sea, and a big boulder in the middle not far from the shore. But something strange was on it, so I got closer. At first, I was startled because who in their right mind could sleep on a boulder half immersed in the cold water of the winter at 3 a.m? That's where things got weird. The thing looked like a woman at first, but instead of legs, it had a very strong-looking tail covered in scales with what looked like a shark fin on the top of her back. Her skin was gray, but with the night, so everything else around me was too. She seemed asleep with her head resting on her forearms. In the panic, I shouted to my other friend, Mira, to put the headlights on the car because I wanted to see it better. When I looked in front of me again, so was the thing. God, I'll never forget it. She was staring at me. Her bottom half was lying on the boulder while she was standing on her webbed hands that ended it with big claws. Her hair was moving with the wind, but it was weird. Almost like snakes, but it wasn't snakes. I don't know how to describe it. She had 2 very large white eyes with no pupils at all or eyebrows. And instead of a nose, she had 6 slits on both sides of her face, and her mouth was small, thin with no lips. I was frightened by her eyes staring at me. I couldn't move a single bone in my body. Then I heard my friend run to me, and before they arrived, she turned on her tail and disappeared into the sea with a loud splash. And the waves all around, and just like that, she was gone. This happened in seconds, but it was an eternity to me. My friends didn't see anything, and I was too shocked to tell them. To this day, they still don't know what happened to me, and I didn't bother telling them. Nobody else would believe me, and I can't blame them. If this would have happened to somebody else, I never would have believed them. And frankly, I didn't want to be called crazy. Sometimes I wonder if indeed I am not crazy, but one day, several months after that night, I saw on TV that a diver was scared to death in the same area. Doctors said that he must have seen something really scary. I don't think it was a coincidence. Now I know that I saw a real mermaid, and they are not pretty mermaids like Hollywood wants us to believe. I don't know if it was good or not. It just scared the living hell out of me. Humans are scared of the unknown, and this has proven to be true. Since then, I'm scared of swimming. I live on an island, so of course, there is sea all around. But I don't care. I am too scared to go swimming and ever seeing that thing again. I've never returned to that beach because I know what's there. Yeah, mermaids are definitely real. Like we've pretty much examined, humans haven't stepped on every piece of land on the earth, right? Obviously. Hey, Kathy, how are you? What's up, Corey Gibson? But the ocean is so vast. So for someone to say there is no such thing as mermaids, that would just almost be like the dumbest thing to say, just really silly. What's up, Don Combs? How are you? Rod, Fiji mermaid. No, she definitely wasn't Ariel. Definitely not. So how's the weather where all y'all are at? Any of you guys on the East Coast? $157 people and only 52 likes. Come on, guys. Let's get those likes up. That's not great. Come on, please. Are y'all here with me still? Hello? Can y'all hear me still? What happened? Can you guys see me and hear me? Please, someone say yes. Okay, I saw a heart. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. Wow. Sorry, guys. It's so hot right now. Oh. All right, cool. I got a little weirded out. No one was talking. No one was doing anything. Okay, cool. All right. What's up, MH? MHZ? Jaja? Karen? Wow, there's a whole bunch of y'all in here. Come on. Oh, sweet. We're getting those likes up. Nice. YouTube messed up. Froze for a second. All right. Yeah, YouTube. I don't think YouTube likes me too much. They're always messing with my uploads, especially like in the morning. They're like, people can't hear me, stuff like that. It's so weird. I can see you, Dakota. I can see you. It's not on my end because my internet is slammed. It blocked my comment. Daniel Rodriguez. Where's my Coca-Cola? Right here. Here's my Coca-Cola. I can see you, Joe. I can see you guys. Whew. Dennis Albertson, you are still here. YouTube doesn't like anyone. No, they don't. If you're looking for a good documentary to watch with your husband or wife, moment of contact. Or by yourself. I've been here since November of... Yes, I actually do want to see you, rockin' steady. I thought of you yesterday when the Padres were playing the Dodgers. Perot, how are you? Did I say that right? Perot? I think I did. My French is not very good. Hey, Jeff, this is Nick from Bender, Texas. There has been another encounter here, 7-foot Dogman. Nick, send me an email on that, please. I'd like to hear that. The Brazilian Roswell. Ooh, that looks good. That looks good. Can you feel me running? Speaking of 80s, my daughter who got her permit today, she just went to see Tears for Fears, and she said it was an amazing amazing concert. Thank you, MHAZ. I appreciate that. MHZ Heartfelt. I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate you guys being here with me tonight. And we got the likes up too. I just watched Braveheart for the first time. Andrew, how does one be aware of Bigfoot? Hey Dean, how are you? How does one be aware of Bigfoot? To be honest with you, Andrew, I think the only way a person is aware of Bigfoot is if Bigfoot wants you to be aware of them. And that'd be my only, what are the pinkish white things that run in packs? I would say crawlers, or what creepypasta fans call the rake. Hit that like button. Tubi, not TV. Since I subbed, my channel is down or acting funny. That's weird, RC. That's weird. Absolutely, Rod. Absolutely. Bigfoot calls you. You don't call Bigfoot. I'm not sure, Brian. I haven't talked to Victor in a week and a half, probably. I haven't had time to contact anyone. Dogman UK Man, how are you? There's Charlie Knight. How are you doing? If I showed you a comparison, your jaw would drop. What are you talking about, Enki? What are you talking about? Crazy person, you. I'm just kidding, Enki. Great meteor construct. I know what you're talking about, Enki. I do. I've seen it, and I know that what you're talking about, and I agree with you. I agree. Scary. You should send it to Jeff. Absolutely, send it to me, please. Jeff, YouTube don't like you. Government don't like me. I can't not email you. It don't make sense. Internet should work. Did you get a P.O. box? Andy, no, I didn't. I'm sorry. I really haven't had time. I've been back and forth to my doctors and stuff. I'll try to get one this week before Saturday's live stream. All right, my friend. I promise. I'm sorry. I'm trying to feel better, Sharon. Thank you. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on with the Michigan guy. I'll make an upload about it here. I talked to him what, 2 weeks ago? Yeah, 2 weeks ago. No, about 10 days ago. And I'm trying to get him to come on the show. Tidal, I wish I did. My house is like 69 degrees, 68 degrees, and I'm sweating. So, let's see. All right. I got a national park encounter for y'all. Your color looks better. Yeah, does it? I still look pasty. I had a female Bigfoot scream in my ear. It was funny, I thought. Andrew, Georgia Jeff, he's in the comment section right now, actually had a face-to-face with a Bigfoot. He turned around and bam, I don't know. I think he was like face-to-face with the Bigfoot's junk, but Bigfoot was right there. And it was a terrible, terrible encounter. It was actually a crazy encounter. Kevin, I appreciate that, but it's not a story. It's an experience. Stories are fiction. I'm just kidding with you, but yeah, it's an amazing, amazing encounter. Jane Fields, have a wonderful evening. Thank you for joining us. Hey, hippie girl. Had a girlfriend like that once. It was over the top of my head. Yeah. If I ever get like sponsored, I want to be sponsored by Manscaped because I have the perfect pitch for Manscaped, and it involves Dogman and Bigfoot. So maybe someday I will. I don't know. Been listening to you for years. 3 months in dark waters. I'm heavy in the game. Awesome, Ty. Awesome. I appreciate that. How's the weather testing you up here? I was 90 today. It was 90 today. Enki, thank you. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Really do. Thank you. And actually, when I get off of here, I'm going to be looking into all the information on Atlantis that you said. I was reading it, and I mark it in my head. I know it probably doesn't seem like I do, but I do. Corey, thank you so much. Can't you smell Bigfoot before you see him? Caden, I've heard that. Jeff, when you had your experience with Bigfoot, Steel Redneck, aka Jeff from Georgia, is the one who had his experience. Did you smell the Bigfoot beforehand? Yeah, Scott, we actually just talked about that crazy video about a half an hour ago. Yeah, it's a crazy video. Dennis, if you emailed me, I should have gotten your number. Silver Fox, how are you? Try emailing me again. Did it not go through or something, Dennis? Let me check. I got a little notebook right here, and I write everybody's phone number in here. This is like my phone book for the channel. Or it might be downstairs. To be honest with you, I think I did. But do me a favor, Dennis. Just to be on the safe side, email me again your number. I know I haven't really had time to hit as many interviews as I want to. But I really will get in touch with you. I promise. It's not me blowing you off. I'm not trying to blow anyone off purposely, to be honest with you. Okay. Experience in George Washington National Forest. My partner and I are avid hikers. Last July, we went on a trip and decided to camp at this spot we love just west of Shenandoah. Now, for all of you who are familiar with the channel, I did a video and upload about Shenandoah, which is in North Carolina, where an FBI agent was killed. Her husband was disappeared, and it's a really big, crazy cover up, I believe, 100%. So, anyway, sorry. My partner and I are avid hikers. Last July, we went on a trip and decided to camp at this spot we love west of Shenandoah. It's quiet, off the beaten path, and offers absolutely spectacular views of both Shenandoah and portions of George Washington National Forest to the west. The first day and evening of the trip itself were nice and uneventful, though we didn't sleep super well because of the humidity. The next morning, we decided to go for a hike in a portion of Jefferson Forest we had never been before. It consists of ATV trails and about a dozen campsites, but has trails that lead to an old fire tower we'd always wanted to check out. It was about a 45-minute drive from our campsite, mostly on back roads. When we got there, the first thing that stuck out to us was how empty the campsites were. We actually didn't camp there the night before because we had heard the site is usually packed, and we knew we wouldn't arrive early enough in the weekend to get a spot. There were only 2 spots taken. In one was a decimated tent with a bunch of garbage. It looked like someone had been there for a while, but it was deserted when we arrived. In the other, there was a young woman, I'm guessing in her late teens, setting up a small backpacking tent. There was a truck and one other smaller car in the parking area. We parked and started getting our gear together. The woman approached us to ask if we knew where the trailhead was. I told her that we had read about it branching off 100 yards into one of the ATV tracks, but we weren't 100% sure which. Since I was getting such weird vibes from the place, I kind of hoped she'd stick around and go with us to find it. But she thanked us and just took off in a general direction of the trail. We set off and walked up and down a few of the trails until we found the walking path. We saw 2 ATVs shoot by us at one point, but otherwise didn't encounter anyone else, including the woman from earlier. It took us about an hour to get to the top of the mountain where the fire tower was. It's an old metal structure, and you have to climb a narrow set of stairs to get to the top. We got up, looked around, took some photos, and started heading down. Honestly, the view was kind of a letdown. About halfway down, very suddenly everything stopped. The birds, the bugs, it was dead silent. And I don't know quite how to put this in words, but it felt like the ancientness of the forest was contorting and crushing us. I felt trapped and cornered in spite of the expanse around us. My partner and I looked at each other and wordlessly started to book it out of there. We started running back to the car, but the feeling only followed us. As we were rounding one of the switchbacks, we heard an unearthly shriek, like a cross between metal on metal and a choir screaming off key. And we saw something. I just got a glimpse of it before we blacked out. I don't know how to describe it other than it looked huge despite clearly not taking up much physical space and moving in rides and flashes. It didn't seem to have color. It just felt like evil and emptiness. I probably only perceived it for a half a second before my memory was completely given away. When we came to, we were sitting in the car and 2 hours had passed, double the length of the time that it took us to get there. I don't know if we lost consciousness or just somehow blocked those hours out. I learned later the exact same thing happened to my partner. Both of the cars were next to us in the parking lot, and there was still just the 2 tents in the campsite. The woman wasn't in hers, and it looked exactly the same as she had left it. I think about her all the time and have spent a ton of time trying to figure out if someone went missing around the time of our trip. It took a few months for my partner and I to even talk about that day. Some of the stories I have seen have made me feel much less alone. We still love to hike, but honestly, haven't been able to be in the Appalachian forest since this happened. Oh. No, Jane is not here tonight. Jane probably is sleeping right now. Thanks, Legna97. Joe, you're going to bed? Or is Andy Davis going to bed? Will, I appreciate that. I'll look forward to your email. Have you heard of the documentary video, Dogman Triangle, Lone Star State? Yes, I have. Yep, I have heard of that in the Lone Star State. Absolutely. Did you see my answer, Jeff, in the first encounter when I backed into Bigfoot? I didn't smell him, although my clothes. Yes, I remember your dad had gave you crap about the clothes and something. I vaguely remember that. Not vaguely, but you know what I mean. So pretty good couple encounters. What's up, T-Wave? How are you? Sonia, how are you? I wave like you can see me. I'm a fucking asshole. Awesome, Wolf Song. Awesome. The Younger Dryas catastrophe. Yeah, I'm big into that too. Enki. Anyone been to the Virginia Creepy Trail? I've never been to Virginia, so it's never been me. Whew. You know what? Let's do one more encounter for the night. Like I said, I didn't plan on doing a live stream, but I just kind of wanted to kind of do one. So we'll do one. Yeah. Jeff from Georgia, please do. I'd love to have it. I really would. Absolutely, Daniel. That was a crazy, crazy experience. That freaking dude, mermaids scare the living bejesuses out of me. Because, first of all, I don't like the ocean anyway because it's too big. And, you know, what if you're swimming and all of a sudden a mermaid grabs your legs and just fucking pulls you under the water, you know, and then you're done. You're done, son. So there's no sense. Fuck mermaids. They're scary. All right, here we go. I got a pretty good one. If we get in contact by Saturday, I'll definitely have many videos for you. Close friends come back Monday. Dennis, absolutely. All right. Absolutely. Look forward to that. Yeah, your fish food. Absolutely, UK man. Not going to the Titanic soon. Definitely not. Definitely not. Man, I'm working on this video and it'll be up probably Friday because I put in a couple of hours worth of work into it already, but it's going to piss some channels off. It's really going to piss some channels off. And I'm actually looking forward to it because, you know, there's already too many questions out there for these channels to just make these crazy things and, you know, make these crazy videos that people think are real and just mess with people's minds already. So I've got this. I cannot wait until the video will be out. I'm definitely have it out by Friday, but it's going to be good. And it'll answer, you know, some questions too. Because there's just too much bullshit out there, you know? Like, since when did people believe that creepypasta channels are real? You know? And since when did creepypasta channels start? You know, I mean, I have respect for creepypasta channels. I really do. Like, I mean, it's a skill, it's a talent, you know, but the ones that keep it real, how they keep it. Like, this is my creepypasta channel. This is what I do. This is what I like to do. I like to share stories, but I'm not. But then you've got these other channels that are like, yeah, I'm going to do creepypastas, and I'm going to include a couple of real videos of like elephants giving birth or whatever, and then some fucked up AI videos. And me and my wife people are gonna think we're real. Like, they're just fucking chodes, man. It pisses me off. Luke is a good dude. I like Luke. Luke has been doing well. He is in Maryland now. Chodes like toads. All right. So this will be the last encounter. Since this isn't like a formal live stream, I just wanted to do something fun and, hang out with my peeps for a little bit. So we'll bang this out quick. Well, not quick. We'll kind of milk it a little bit. All right, here we go. So my granddad had this ranch about 25 miles east of Payson, Arizona. For those in Arizona, it's between Hagler Creek and 260. It's very secluded, but the land is good for grazing. I spent a lot of time running Jersey cattle on the range. Every night, one of us rides out to check on the cattle in the field and to check the fence line for holes in the wire. A few days ago, I was riding out to check on the herd at about 1:30 in the morning, and I kept hearing rustling in the tree line running along the fence perimeter. Figured it was coyotes. I see a lot of them. It went away every 10 or 15 minutes, but then I could hear it again. The second time I heard it, I was off my horse and walking him to a little water trough. The cows were about 150 to 200 yards away, just within my view with the moonlight. I heard the rustling again, but this time it was heavy. My horse, Vegas, and I both looked up at the same time, wondering, WTF is that? At that point, I came to an eerie realization that whatever was out there was tracking me in Vegas and did not seem interested in the cows. So in an attempt to scare it off, I got back on my horse and grabbed my whip and uncoiled it. I don't use it on animals. I only use it to make a loud noise to move the cattle, and cracked it a few times rather than using my pistol. The rustling stopped and the forest was dead quiet once more. Not thinking much about it, I went back to count the head. I marked 38 heads. All the cows were there. So I started my way back to the house. I was about 3.5 miles away. It was a bit of a trail ride back. It was about 10 minutes of silence until I heard the rustling again. At this point, I'm getting pissed. I figured it was some little dumbass coyote trying to get the lead on him somewhere. So I called my granddad on the radio. There's zero cell service out here. And I told him that I was going to fire my gun, so not to worry. So I reached down and pulled my revolver from my side. For all you guys who like firearms, I have the Uberti replica Colt 45 Peacemaker chambered in .45 Colt. I fired one round into the air. The rustling stopped as the shot rang through the woods and mountains. My ears rang and the smell of gunpowder filled my nose and the smoke settled. After I calmed Vegas down, I started riding back, only for the rustling to come back 5 minutes later. I started getting nervous at this point. Usually coyotes run away when they get scared of loud noises. Of course, I didn't have a flashlight on me because my dumb ass forgot it. So I used my lame-ass iPhone flashlight and dismount. I slowly walked to the tree line where I heard the rustling as I had my gun out, ready for an animal to jump out at me or something. I flashed my light around through the clearing of the trees, and to my right, I heard rustling about 100 feet away. I turned over, and to my surprise and confusion, I saw a black silhouette of a horse run across the trail. I immediately thought, crap, is that one of our horses? Is that someone else's horse? So I rode over to where I saw it, shaking with anxiety. I looked and was confused as how the horse even ran out of and into the forest. It was so thick with shrubbery. And when I looked back behind me to start riding back, I stopped frozen in fear and got chills. I dropped my gun and heard the sound of it hitting the ground echoing through the woods because in front of me, about 50 feet away, was the silhouette of a man wearing a flat-brimmed hat that appeared to have chaps on. I picked my gun up and aimed at the figure, and he was gone. I got back on Vegas and rode like the wind, constantly looking behind me in fear of that guy following me. I made it back and told my granddad. He was trying to calm me down, and he said he had some weird experiences out there as well. So it was kind of a paranormal experience. But that's what we're not just a Dogman channel here. We're a all together channel. Is there any reports of yes, Dean, yes, I have a couple of Dogman fighting bear encounters. Actually, one in Maine. And of course, there's the Captain one. There was one in Washington State as well. Hey, Liz, how are you? I hear you, Andy Davis. I hear you. All right, guys. Like I said, this is just kind of a surprise. Thank you for popping in with me and hanging out for an hour. I got to get out of my studio. It's too hot in here for me right now. So with that, I want to thank you guys for spending an hour with me. And Saturday at midnight Eastern Standard Time will be the normal live stream. I hope to see all you guys there. And we can have a blast as normal. I will make sure. Enki, yeah, sounds good. Email me. I'll make sure that we have a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. I'll start writing stuff down. Randall Kennedy, I've been waiting. Do me a favor, Randall Kennedy. I'm hoping that you hear me. I don't use Facebook. I don't use Facebook Messenger. But I saw that you messaged me through there. I can't open it because I don't use it. So please email me whatever you messaged me, all right? I want to know what you said. If you need my email, let me know right now before I end. No, I have not heard from Luke, Liz. I can't email. Fuck. All right, I will figure out a way of opening that. Shit. I'll figure out a way of opening because it's on my channels. I believe it's on my channel's messenger, not my regular Facebook messenger. So I'll figure out tomorrow a way of opening it. Okay, Randall? Yes, Dennis. I'll see you guys. Okay, Enki needs my email address. And Randall, I will look at it tomorrow. I'll figure out a way of opening that. I forgot my password for the channel's Facebook. So, where's the fucking, here we go. What the hell? All right, here we go. Bam. Bang, thanks for coming. I don't know. All right, I'm going to look at it, Randall, tomorrow. I'll figure out how to do that. Yeah, Night God's good. Kyle's a good dude. I like Kyle. MHG. Kyle's a super nice guy. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. Like I said, I the big surprise is I'm gonna get with somebody to figure out how to get the green screen going, and get everything set and kind of just boost the channel a little bit better here and there, because I just want to I just want this channel to just completely blow up and just be awesome for you guys, because you guys are awesome. Dark Waters, my best friend. Thanks, Vang. I appreciate that. Guys, with that, have a wonderful rest of your night. Tomorrow's upload is going to be a fascinating and terrifying LBL encounter that I guarantee you guys have never heard before. And with that, my friends, see ya.